Hey everyone! So I am very happy to say that we are back on the river for the first time since runoff, and it's wonderful to be here. And I was gonna do an intro clip, but where'd it go? There it is. First agate after runoff. Yeah, so we are starting the board pretty much immediately. Starting on the board pretty much immediately. That's nice. What are we hoping for today? I don't care. Anything. I'm just so happy to be back. It's been so long. Oh my gosh. Really what I'm hoping for is a cutter or two. That would make me very happy. Unfortunately, being so close to runoff means that we're gonna have all this stuff to deal with, which is super fun. Makes hunting a little bit harder, but that means all the rocks are fresh, so there might be some amazingness out here waiting for us. So let's see. Get some petrified wood, definitely some jaspers, hopefully more Montana agates. Fossils probably. I don't know. I'm just happy. I'm so happy. I don't care what we find. I actually don't know what I'm looking at. It's either Iceberg Agate or... Wait, what? Is that brecciated wood? One sec. I gotta figure this out. Oh my gosh, that's an insane plume. What? Oh my goodness. Well, that's a great way to start. Wow. That is gonna be so freaking pretty. Wow, okay. I'm gonna leave this out so that I can get a close-up on my phone when I get further up. All right, here it is. Oh, all that glare. That is such a pretty plume. Look at this pocket on this side. That is just stunning. I don't even know how to cut this to get the best results. It's just awesome. Well, there's our first river baculite of the day. That should polish really nicely. Really good sutures in this one. All right, two things I want to investigate. One is this. Are you a good jasper or a meh jasper? Kind of a meh, but I see something from a distance that has my attention. Are you better? Oh wow, yeah, you're way better. Now that's a pretty jasper. That is much more worth keeping. Looks like we have another agate right here. Whoa, is the ground baked or is it bigger than it looks? Oh, it is, a little bolt actually. That is pretty. Man, there's actually a ton of little bands in there. I doubt that the GoPro is gonna pick that up though. That might be an interesting one to cut, that's cool. I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm looking at right now. You know what, one sec. We're near water, I'll just go to the water. Is this wood? It is wood. Wow, that is some brecciated wood. Ooh, wait a second, yeah, it is. That's what we, well, that's what I call a trifecta rock. You can see we've got wood grain right in through here. We've got banded agate and jasper. It is the Yellowstone trifecta in one rock. Dang, that's actually really pretty. That's going to be very interesting to see what's going to look like on the inside. Heck yeah. I both love and hate hunting this time of year. I mean, obviously it's great because it's the first time you can come back after runoff, but most of the gravel looks like this, and it is way harder to hunt when it's this silty. Also doesn't help that we've been getting like no rain. It's great because you can get back to the river. There's some new stuff waiting to be found, but you've got to look through all the silt. It really makes things a lot harder, but that is almost always where the best stuff is going to be hiding. I don't know what I'm looking at yet. I'm guessing it's either chert or chalcedony, but it's got a weird texture to it. One sec. Yeah, it's just chert. The way it was looking when it was dirty, that little gray pocket looked blue, and I was like, wait a second. But no, it's nothing. Okay, I'm actually amazed I even noticed this. The RB one, very much hiding. I have no idea how big it is, but we're gonna find out. That might be a little bigger than I was expecting. Whoa. Yeah, that might actually be a little bigger than I thought. Oh man, okay. Things are getting more serious here. Whoa, is that... Whoa, okay, this is a big agate. One sec. Let me dig this out and I'll be right back. All right, she's loose. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's way freaking bigger than I was expecting. There was a tiny amount of that rock poking out. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, there's green. It's mostly clear. Ooh, there is some cloudy banding in there. Wait a second. Yeah, look at that. That plumy, mossy green stuff. Okay, that's awesome. That's a freaking iceberg right there. There was so much more of that thing hiding underneath. Wow, okay. That's something to get very excited about. I can be thrilled with that one. I don't know if this is an agate, but it looks very agate-y. Whoa, that's cool. It's like black cherty stuff, but it's got all this chalcedony in there. It actually might be a really cool cut. I think I'm gonna keep that. Think that right there is a good jasper. Yes, it is. Yes, it is a good jasper. All right. Okay, that is a gorgeous jasper. Look at that. Orange, yellow, little chalcedony bands. There's even some green in there. That big old block of aventurine. I'm definitely not keeping it. I just wanted to point it out. So pretty. There's so much of it on the Yellowstone, though. Look at this big old fat toad. Look at him. Hello, little friend. You are so squat and portly. I love you. This is for Alexis. Oh, goodbye, little bird. Man, the main reason I wanted to come out today, well, for one, just because, you know, the river's dropping, but it was supposed to be like 72. It is definitely way hotter than 72. Oh my gosh, what is this? Porcelainite. It wasn't supposed to be hot today. You know, there's a ton of jasper on the Yellowstone. A lot of it is whatever. Some of it is phenomenal, and some of them you can spot from a distance. Oh my goodness. Look at that red jasper. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're absolutely cutting that. Yeesh, that is so red. Check out the septarian I just found. It's wet right now, but there's actually some really good little crystals in there. That will be a glitter bomb whenever it's dry. All right, I just got this big one cleaned off, and it is actually way nicer than I thought it was. So when you get up close, you can kind of see bands in this part. When you look at this face, there are so many bands in there. I know I say it all the time, but this has my iris radar going crazy. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. I cannot believe we found that with just this little tiny top bit poking out. That is crazy. Yeah, see, like, look at this. You almost can't even hunt this until we get some rain coming through. So unfortunately, I think these zones are going to be kind of off limits until fall, when we actually get more regular rain, because we're about to move into the dry season. All right, guys, I've hit my I'm done sweating point. I'm exhausted. It's way hotter than it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be like mild 70s. It is definitely in the 80s. We may not have kept a lot. What we found is all just fantastic. That agate especially. I am so excited to get that thing like deep cleaned and get a good look at it. Say the Yellowstone welcomed us back with a bang, and I'm very happy about that. And the hunting is just going to keep getting better the more rain we get. And it's not even done dropping yet. It's got still quite a bit to go before it's actually down all the way. So anyway, we're gonna head back to the shop, get everything cleaned off, and I think cut a few of our finds. So I'll see you there. See, freaking knew it was more than freaking low 70s. Lying to me, no wonder I'm dying. Okay, we are back to the shop, and we are gonna cut some of the bar rocks. Specifically these three. We've got that big red jasper, obviously the big Montana agate, and then that trifecta rock. So I think to start, I'm gonna go load this one up, and I'm gonna, I don't know. I think I wanna try to get this face. It just depends on if it wants to clamp. It should, but yeah, we'll see. It should be nice. And while that's happening, we're gonna go do the very, very, very fast task of polishing this baculite. Alrighty, petrified wood is done, and oh my gosh, that is stunning. We kind of moved away from most of the chalcedony. There's definitely still some in there, but the deeper we got, there was less of it. But even still, that is just stunning. Look at this. Look at that. How pretty is that? Perfect wood grain, really nice chalcedony bands, and then just yellow jasper over here. That is so nice. And we saved the rest of the stone. I got through that slanted part, so this will actually polish really well now. That is so cool. Oh, and also finished the baculite. Here it is. Look at how nice that one is. It's like just to cast down here, and then we move into this really, really dense calcite pocket. How awesome is that? Check this out. Look at the way it glows. Oh, I love it. It's so cool. Gotta love them. They never get old. Just love these things. Actually, has some really nice, well-defined sutures on that one too, so. Yep, it's always exciting, especially when they're as dull and drab as this one looked when when you first find them. They transform quite a bit. All right, next we are gonna do the red jasper, and I think I'm gonna try to come in this way. So let's see what we get. Alrighty, jasper is done, and it is beautiful. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh, it's so red. I love all the little black streaks throughout the whole thing. It's just so pretty. So I got a heel and 2 slabs, mainly because I actually really want to maintain this rock, because this thing is really freaking pretty. I know it's just a red jasper, and there are many red jaspers, but it's just gorgeous. So I got heel and 2 slabs, specifically for cabbing, and then I left most of the rock intact so that we could polish it. It's so pretty, I love it. And you know, I might, before I get around to polishing it, I might decide to cut a few more slabs off, but it's just nice. It's just good. I am very happy about that. So very, very red. And there's actually like little, I don't know how well it's gonna show, little fortification pockets with red chalcedony. It's just pretty. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm happy about that. Which means all that is left is this agate now. So, this is gonna sound weird. You'd think this is the face you'd want to go with, or you'd think you'd want to maintain some of this green that's in here. Problem A, there's not much green. It doesn't go very deep, I can already tell. It's very surface. Problem 2, this is not gonna be the best face. This is actually gonna be the best face, because this is where we're head on that banding. And now that it's actually clean, you can see that banding a lot better, and that's got some very irisy look to it. So I want to get as parallel to the banding as I can right here. On this face, it's actually curled, so I would have to clamp it in a really, really weird way, whereas this face, it is literally just head on. So I should be able to clamp it and come in pretty cleanly this way. So fingers crossed for some rainbows. I guess we will find out. All right, it is done, and I am, for lack of a better phrase, shook. I am shook by that. I would have bet my firstborn child that was an iris, even though I don't have children. I would have bet my neighbor's firstborn child that was going to be an iris. But strangely, lo and behold, it's just not. And I am so shocked by that. It is like one of the clearest agates I have ever seen. I was so expecting some rainbow in that milky banded pocket, but it just never happened. Like, it's not the end of the world, it's still cool, but I was so sure there was going to be at least some color in this thing. But I just went ahead and kept thin slabbing anyway, because maybe there was going to be some rainbow that showed up later, but either way, I know someone who absolutely will want these paper thin slabs, so it's not a wash. I am probably going to re-angle this and come in at a different angle later, at a later date, because I don't want to do that right now. Because yeah, I think now that I have a nice flat here, we can probably get this angle better, but I still don't know. I don't know that it's going to change anything. As it sits, it's neat, it's cool. I am definitely not super bummed about it because it's still a really different agate. It's just so clear. Actually has some really nice bands and turtlebacks, but I don't know that it's gonna show on camera. They're so just like the same color, so they don't really show very well on the camera, but I can still be happy with this. It's definitely not what I was hoping for, but I still like it. That and it was a freaking iceberg, and just the act of pulling it out of the ground was enough to make me very, very excited. It just kept growing. It was, oh my gosh. It's so fun when you find a rock like that is like deceivingly large. But it wasn't just the ones that we cut. We also got actually some really cool crystal specimens. I always split some of these whenever I see them, just because these septarians can actually be hiding some really nice crystals. This one needs to go through a mineral oil treatment, and then it's going to look phenomenal. But I'm very excited about this. This is actually a really good one. Little, but those crystals are just pristine. And again, after the mineral oil, it's going to be just so nice. Just fluffy looking, fuzzy looking. And I'm really, really frustrated with myself that I didn't take a before video. I found this as well. And it was completely caked in with mud. And I thought, you know what? The mud might actually be protecting the crystals. I'm going to bring it back and clean it. And lo and behold, yes. Yes, it definitely was protecting the crystals. Because, look at this pocket of just beautiful rhombohedral calcite. How nice is that? I just love it. Never gets old. This is why I love splitting those, because best case scenario, you're finding baculites and potential ammonites. Lower, like middle scale scenario, you're finding calcite crystals like this. So it's just always worth investigating. And of course, this freaking awesome Plume that we found, and it is so pretty, and I have no idea how I want to cut it, because I really want to keep this little pocket with the druzy in there. I don't know how to proceed with this, but there's just so much chalcedony in this thing. I know it's gonna be fantastic. I just don't know how I want to go about actually cutting and or polishing it. So remember this, you will most definitely be seeing it again at some point. I don't know when. Don't hold your breath, because it could be a while, but I promise I'll get back to this thing, because it is so nice. Oh my gosh. You know how I feel about the plumes, and this is a really good plume. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Man, it feels so good being able to go back to the Yellowstone again. We hit a weird runoff. It got high and fast really quickly, and then it kind of just stayed there. It didn't really rise to a normal like crazy runoff, and then we had drought, so it like went back down really quick. I feel like we're on the river way earlier than we normally are. A few of my spots are definitely still not accessible, but give it like another 2 weeks and we should be back to normal, which I'm very happy about. Let me know which find was your favorite. Honestly, even though it was not what I wanted on the inside, this is just the experience of pulling this one out of the ground. It's probably my favorite for the day. It is such a cool feeling when there's just like a little bit of a rock poking out, and then you just have to keep digging and digging and digging for it to actually come out. This thing grew exponentially as it was coming out of the ground. That thing in a previous video that I said I don't know how much I want to hype it because I don't know if it's happening. Well, it's happening, so be excited. Also would like to point out that I don't know if it's going to be Monday or Tuesday, but at some point this week, what's the date? Filming this on the 18th, so it would be like the 21st or 22nd, I think, Monday or Tuesday. We'll be doing a live sale. I have a heap of slabs and some raw rocks and some crystals and some fossils, so yeah, it'll be fun. Probably going like for most of the day, so we'll see. I'll post the live well beforehand so you guys can like see it and put the reminder on, but because I still don't actually know which day yet, but one of those 2 days we are for sure going live. Yeah guys, and I think that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.